Okay, let's solve this following inequality equation. Now what I like to do, I like to actually graph this. So we're going to graph y equals x minus 4, x plus 1, and graph it. Now, what's going on is that we need to find where it's crossing the x-axis. And so we can use our table or zero feature or the intersect feature, but the table is actually going to give us the two values, -1 and 4. Now the reason why we already knew that is because if we were to set the x minus 4 equal to 0 and solve by adding 4 to both sides, we would get x equals 4. That's why we have the 4 there. And same thing for the x plus 1. You set that equal to 0, subtract 1, you get x equals -1. Now that's all I really need to know, -1, 0. Now when I graph this, I'm actually going to use open circle. And there's a reason for that. And then for the 4, 0, I'm also going to use an open circle. And the reason is because it's just less than to it. It's not actually equals to it. So I'm not going to be specific as far as knowing which points. I'm just going to do a rough hand-drawn graph of this. Because these two values, -1 and 4, they're actually called critical values, if you want to think of it like that, is really all we need to know because of the less than. Less than means I don't have to look at anything above the x-axis, because this is like saying where's y less than 0. Well, up here y, well that's not a y for one thing. Up here, this is where y is greater than 0, all the way up here. So I'm going to mark all that out. I don't want that. And y equals 0 is actually on the x-axis, and then y less than 0 is everything below the x-axis. So, all I need is the interval from -1 to 4 because that's where it's below the x-axis. Now since it's just less than, the equation is just a less than, I don't want that, it's just a less than, I don't include -1 and 4. So my actual solution is going to be -1 to 4 is where it's below the x-axis, and since I don't include -1 and 4 because it's just less than, I use parentheses, and that's my solution. I'm going to show you something else. Are you ready for this? The equation is x minus y, x plus 1 less than 0. I can actually type in everything if I want to. Parentheses. I don't need that. Let's see what happens if I do this. Second math, which is the test, less than is number 5, and then 0. Then let's look at the graph. What it does is, it actually gives us the graph of the solution. See that? -1 to 4. Let's look at the table. And see, -1 to 4. -1 is where it's equal to 0. It's the first place where it equals 0 and 4. The only danger is you gotta know where it starts and where it ends. That's why you want to look at the original graph without the less than 0. But this is kind of a way to check your solution. -1 to 4. Does that look like -1 to 4? Left -1, right 4? Looks right to me. So, keep that in mind. Comes in handy sometimes.